ABC10, Sean Cunningham. Thrilled to be joined right now by one of the newest members of the Sacramento Kings and a guy I've only spoken to once since he's been here in Sacramento, but he's had a huge impact so far with the Kings, and that is Maurice Harkless. Mo, thanks for joining me this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk to you too because the impact you've had with the Kings has been one thing, but you've got a couple things going on off the court too that I definitely wanted to touch on. But before we get to that, just you're a guy who's been bound to a couple teams already. You've experienced what it's like to be traded at the deadline, and for those who don't know, just what goes into that and what kind of experience is that?
I mean, it's completely a whirlwind. It's kind of like your whole life is kind of just flipped, and it's a lot of things going on at one time. And also, you got to prepare for a game because the games don't stop. They just keep happening in the middle of all this going on. So it's like, it's just, I mean, it's a lot going on, but the team does a great job of help accommodating you, making sure it's a smooth transition. And it's just about adjusting to your new team. They take care of all the logistics and make it easy for you. But mentally, it can be tough, especially if you've never been traded before. It could, the first time it could be tough mentally. But having been through it before, I know what it's like, so I'm able to kind of handle it a little better than I would have in the past.
Was there anything that was different this year, being that the one you experienced, I think, was with the Knicks before, but this year, I mean, there's so many differences with COVID pandemic. I mean, was there anything that was just a little bit different about this situation?
I mean, the COVID kind of complicated everything really throughout the whole season so far. It's created a whole, like, this year has been pretty unique, one of a kind. Um, as far as the deadline goes, I don't think it pushed the date back, but I don't think it really, had much of a factor on, how things played out during the deadline. I wouldn't be the one to speak to about that. I don't know.
Yeah, no sweat. And then how about just when you come over from a team that obviously, the Miami Heat were in a championship situation last year. I know there was a bubble situation there, but there along with that comes expectations. But now you come to a team in Sacramento that, let's face it, I mean, I've been in this market. I'm from Sacramento. Kings haven't made the playoffs since '07. That would be like their championship just to make the playoffs. And for so many other teams, an eighth seed or even a 10th seed for a play-in tournament is considered a failure by most organizations. Does it change your mentality all of a sudden seeing that the direction and expectations from a program are so different?
I mean, it's a mindset shift. I think a little bit, but it's not always it's not a bad thing. Here it's like you said, we haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, but it's a really good feeling going here. Like, it feels like we're building something. It feels like we're playing for something. Like right now, we have a chance to play for one of those lower seeds and potentially a play-in game. So that's something to build on. You want to build good habits, and it doesn't start by losing. You know what I mean? So you have to start somewhere. And this situation is kind of similar to when I first got to Portland. It was supposed to be like a rebuild year, and we weren't supposed to make the playoffs. And we just kind of grinded it out the whole season and fought our way into the playoffs, and we actually snuck a first round win. So you got to start somewhere, and they have a obviously great building blocks in the backcourt, and just to continue to build on that, you never know what could happen.
And when you come in here with guys like DeLon Wright and Terrence Davis, and now you got Damian Jones that's going to be signing a 10-day contract with you guys, and obviously you come over with Chris Silva. I mean, it seems like they came out and wanted to get guys that not only are basketball experienced, but have a toughness about them, a physicality to them, a defensive presence to them for a team that sorely needed it. Has it been any wonder to you why you guys have been able to have such an immediate impact with this team?
No, I mean, when you look at all the new guys, it's kind of like a similar mindset. We kind of play a tough, gritty game. We grind it out. We play defense. We do a lot of different things on the floor. So I think they were kind of, looking to add a certain type of player and a certain type of mentality. And, we just got to continue to build on that. Like, this team hasn't been the best defensively. So but I look at it as like we have a lot of room to grow. So we just got to continue to build on that, continue to work at it every day. And, speaking with the coaches and stuff like that, they know it's something that we need to get better at, and it's something that we will try to.
Yeah, that's well said. I know you got here at the middle of a kind of a winning streak, and all of a sudden, it's kind of like the storyline of this season, where you experience a winning streak and then it's a losing streak, and I've never seen anything like it. Usually, it's a little bit more, different than that. But having experienced a little bit of the winning streak and now this losing streak, and it's not coming at the most ideal time, how's this kind of impacted the locker room a little bit?
Well, before I even get into that, I'll just like I feel like around the league, this year it's been weird, but it's been a lot of that. Like teams are really streaky, teams get hot, then teams get really cold. I don't really know what the correlation is between that and just the way this season has been going with COVID and everything, but it's been weird. But to answer your question, getting here and feeling that energy, being in the middle of a streak, I think we pushed it to 5 or 6 games of winning streak. The energy was flowing, everybody was feeling good. And then, we lose a couple games in a row. But the league is about who can kind of be steady, there's going to be ups and downs, and you're not going to win every game. You're going to lose games that you feel like you should have won. But it's about kind of being steady and staying consistent with your approach and how you approach the game, how you play the game. And that's how you find consistent results. You got to first be consistent in the way you play, the way you prepare, and all of that stuff. And those are things that we have to continue to build on.
I mean, it might sound simple for a guy like me who never played the game of basketball, but even Harrison Barnes was talking about that last night, or excuse me, 2 nights ago after the loss of Minnesota, about the consistency. And he kind of talked about, like, it's consistently inconsistent. We need to get more mature. And obviously that's stuff that that your core brought in to this team. How do you find that level of consistency? Someone I heard the other day said it's like having your child clean your room. You can tell them a lot of times, but when does it finally click to where they know that that's important? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those things where, with the team, you don't really know when it's going to click. But, when having guys on the team like Harrison, who's been in situations where it has clicked for the team, that he knows that it like when it happens, it just happens. You got to keep plugging away at it. And it'll be hard some days, but then when it happens, it just happens, and it comes out of, it doesn't, I won't say it come out of nowhere, but it's just there now. You know what I mean? So, but it's something that you just got to continue to build on and just work at until you kind of crack the surface.
That's well said, man. And I know for you, I mean, you've been in different scenarios. And I know when you came out of college, I mean, you might have thought, this is how I play basketball. This is what I'm known for. But what I'm amazed at is just the number of different type of roles that you've had to play throughout your career. What prepares you to go into a situation that might be different from what you expected? It might be on the outside, like maybe coming in and say, I'm going to be a scorer. I'm going to be one of these guys that come out here and they need my shooting, but all of a sudden it's like, I need my physicality, I need my defense. It seems like each place you've been, it's almost a different role, at least from the outside looking in. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I've been in a lot of different roles throughout my career. But that's kind of something that I pride myself on, being versatile, being able to do different things on the floor. And, I want to win at the end of the day. So I'm going to figure out what it is my team needs me to do so that we can win. And that's what I'm going to do on any given night, and I think that it'll change. Some nights I'll have to rebound, try to get 15 rebounds. And that's what I'll try to do. Some games I might have 25 points. Some games I might have 2 points. Like, I don't care about any of that as long as my team is winning. So that's kind of how I just find where I fit in best on, in the role of the team, and whatever they need from me, that's what I'm going to try to do on any given night.
Did you have that instilled in you early on, or did you have to kind of get to a certain point before you started kind of thinking that way?
I think like ever since I started playing games, I wanted to win, and I try to always figure out what I had to do to win. Like even playing checkers in the park, like with my friends, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to win every single time. So I try to just use my brain and figure out the easiest way or the best way for me to go about something to win. And that's kind of what I do.
Today's one of those days where it hasn't been many. I mean, I think that it's only a handful of opportunities where you guys have back-to-back days off. There's opportunity for practice and opportunity to get better. How much different do these days feel when you can actually get a practice in compared to a normal season where you might have, ample time for practice time, and just this year there's just no time for it at all?
Yeah, I mean, this year it's been particularly scarce as far as practice days go. And I think we've only had one practice day since I've been here in Sacramento. So today, we haven't had practice yet. We'll have practice in a couple hours. that I think it'll be good for our team. You know, having yesterday off after a long trip. You know, kind of just to rejuvenate a little bit and then come back and be able to have time to practice and just get together as a team and, you know, build on some things that we want to. I think it'll be big for us, you know, especially for a young team, as many days like this that we can stack practice days and just days being together. It's only going to help us out on the floor.
Yeah, and I know this. I think you're 17 games into your own, personally into this season. Has it kind of gone the way you wanted? Is it? Are things kind of? Are you finding a little bit more of a rhythm now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just got. I think it's been 6 games since I've been here. It's kind of just been. I've been trying to figure it out. You know, it's coming along well. I think I like the group of guys we have here, and it's a good. Like I said earlier, it's a good feeling around the program. So it's definitely coming together. I'm definitely feeling like more like myself again, and I'm excited to just continue to build on that.
That's awesome. And I know here being in California, there's a couple of things that you've got going on, and you're a little closer to them. I know I introduced to Shoot 360 about I want to say about a month ago is when I first saw it, and then I actually was able to talk to you because of this new venture that you have, and I know because about a little less than an hour from Sacramento and Walnut Creek, there's an actual location for Shoot 360. I've never stepped foot into one, but I've heard a lot about it. Can you tell for people who for have no idea what this I don't even know what to call it, basketball training site? I mean, it's so specific to basketball. How do you explain it to someone who has no idea?
Yeah, it's Shoot 360 is like it's like a basketball training company. You know, it's an AI based business model where they give you tons of feedback on your training. It's separated into different kinds of training. There's skill cages, which does ball handling and passing. It's like virtual training, so you'll be kind of mirroring a trainer for the ball handling. It'll tell you different drills to do. You know, at a time you give you different, like different speed, like how to, you know what I mean? It's kind of like just following along. Then there's passing drills where you have to do the dribble moves and hit targets, and you get points. And there's a leaderboard. You can compete with other people. Like it's a lot of fun into it. And then there's shooting cages as well, where they're basically shot tracking all of your shots from where you're shooting from, the arc on your shots, the amount of rotation on the ball, where you're hitting the rim. You know, so it's all this information that you can use to try to help improve your game, and it's available for anyone. It's available for all ages. You know, I've been around people who enjoy it. I've been around kids who enjoy it. I've been around older men who enjoy it. I've been around older women who enjoy it. It's like I think it's fit for anybody, but it's a huge new wave, I think, in the basketball technology, and I think it's groundbreaking.
Is it something in the off season you see yourself being at a place like this to where like you said, it could be for someone so simple, maybe just to try to get better, have fun, or be with their friends, be in a social environment, or someone like yourself who's an NBA player who's really trying to harness their game, get better, address certain needs. Is this a system you would use during the off season?
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely. You know, I've used it in the off season. You know, I've been, kind of connected to Shoot 360 for a couple of years now. So I've trained in the facilities myself. I've been around camps in the facilities, and I think it's very useful. You know, like especially just being able to have that feedback immediately. You know, as someone that you can work with, like you and your trainer or whoever you're working with can look over it and kind of use it to improve your workouts and stuff like that. So I enjoy it myself. I think, the more people that see it, the more people that will enjoy it, and I think it's going to be huge.
The first time you heard about it, has it met the expectations when you first heard about it just a few years ago?
I mean, honestly, when I first heard about it, I wasn't expecting everything that it was. And it's hard for me to kind of put into words, exactly what it is. When you go in there, it's kind of like it's a wow factor, because I've never seen anything like it until I've seen it. So I'm excited for people to get to see it out here. I'm excited for the new location opening up, or just opened up last week. So I'm excited about that getting going, and just what's to come in the future.
Yeah, I even made a note here. I mean, it seems like it's going to 27 U.S. cities. Already one in Walnut Creek. San Jose is going to be next. California. I think there's one in Torrance. Probably just a matter of time before one comes to Sacramento.
Yeah, the goal is to expand and keep putting these in different places that people will enjoy it. So I think Sacramento is definitely a nice place.
Has it been a fun? I mean, I knew you haven't been here all that long. Has it been a fun adjustment period? I mean, you've gotten to even step out in the city. I know things are kind of opening up again, but you guys are under so many restrictions.
Yeah, we're under a few restrictions, so I haven't really gotten out to do too much yet. But I'm excited to get to know the city a little better. I don't really know much about it, but like I said, I'm excited to learn.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too, as we kind of wrap up here, I know, being closer in California, you're closer to another venture you got going on, which is Prisoner Wines, and it's so funny to see so many NBA players and athletes, for that matter, just getting into wine, and here you are in the heart of it. You've got Amador County and Napa just right down the street. I mean, what is it about Prisoner Wines? How'd you kind of get into this and the love for wine?
Well, the love for wine kind of goes back to when I was like younger. Honestly, I was introduced to wine, not to drink it, but just by seeing my college coaches kind of enjoy it. Steve Lavin was a huge wine guy, and actually one of our coaches on staff, Rico Hines, he was on my college coach, and he was one of those coaches that was in the corner drinking their wine while we were all kind of just playing around, watching games.
That sounds like Rico.
But it's really cool to be here and be close to Napa Valley, the heart of kind of California Cabernet. And then, being close to obviously the Prisoner Wine Company's grounds, I'm excited to be able to go up there and spend some more time up there. That came about just by having common interests and being just building relationships with people involved with what they had going on. And then obviously we have common interests as far as social give back and stuff like that. So, it lasted a while, but we figured out ways to try to just help the community together, and hopefully we continue to build on that.
That's awesome. Do you have is there a favorite that you like? Is it the reds, the whites? How's it work?
Well, my favorite was actually the red blend, but now I think the new Cabernet varietal came out, and I think that might be my new favorite.
Okay, now we're talking, because that's right up my alley. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I saw it was like right up in St. Helena, so it's very close nearby, and hopefully one of these days we get out there and do a tasting out there and see what it's all about.
That'd be cool. Maybe I could get some of the guys from the team over there with me too.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. As we wrap up, just you mentioned Sacramento. I mean, does this? I don't know if it's too early to tell, but do you kind of get a good feeling? Is there anything encouraging about Sacramento, this organization, and kind of where it's heading? Could you see this being kind of a fit for a long-term situation?
I mean, I definitely think it's a possibility. No one really knows what's going to happen this summer, as far as free agency and stuff goes. But right now, I'm focused on I'm helping this program and just continue to help build what they have going on. Like I said, they have a great young backcourt already, and they're going to continue to grow, and they're going to continue to build on that. So I definitely see opportunity here, and I'm just going to take it day by day.
Your typical day, because you can't really get out. I mean, it's I know there's a ton focused on basketball, but when you do get to unwind and relax, and I mean, we talked about Prisoner Wines. It almost feels like you're a prisoner. You can't really go outside. You get like an hour or 2 hours. What's it like for people who have no idea?
Yeah, I mean, I try to at least get out and go for a drive or take a walk or something, and, walk my dog around, just try to do something to get out the house when I'm not in practice or anything like that. But other than that, I just try to like watch movies or find TV shows to watch, play a little video games. Yeah, it's really just basketball and kind of relaxed at this point.
You mentioned the dog. People are going to give me hell if I don't ask. What kind of dog? What's the name?
His name is Biggie. He's a Maltese Yorkie. It's about this big.
I like it. And coming from Queens, I mean, I understand. I think I get where the name's coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on, Mo. I appreciate you joining me, man. I know the time is precious during the season, so I really can't thank you enough for joining me, talking some of these topics you got going on. It sounds like you got a lot going off the court and on the court, and I think it's a good thing to have during these times. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you in person again one day once things are regular. But if not, at least we got the Zoom thing going.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's been great.
Appreciate you, Mo. Take care.